welcome back to the Stan Lebed Show. We have a very special guest here. Dude, you know? No what ifs or buts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom, we have a break from school.
I'm a wannabe farmer.
He's got chickens and everything.
Yeah.
Like you have a backpack behind you, so putting tools for you
Man, we could just end it on that, right?
Yeah, like the victim mindset.
to fifth grade.
It was blessed. Yeah.
He's got chickens and
Years
everything.
ago, before I
This granola bar, I couldn't.
Here he is, Vitaly Gurman, NFL player. Were you born in Ukraine?
And I was born here. My dream here, that vision that I felt like God gave me.
So every dead man would have real.
That's how much.
Because there's so much power.
How can I repay him but not be crazy for him? If that makes sense.
That's awesome.
I've been more like this more recently than this, but that encourages me.
If you're down, let's hit the gym tomorrow morning.
I gotta work. There's that little fire that someone might have, or the idea that they might have, and somebody might think it's a bad idea.
Hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard in the mind too, because like
Comparing themselves to social media. I think
Right.
social media kills kids.
I 100% agree.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Stan Lebed Show. Today, I am super, super excited and humbled to have Vitaly Gurman on my show, an NFL player. I've been wanting to do this for such a long time. I'm a huge fan of football. And I've always wondered what it is like behind the scenes of being in the NFL. So this is going to be such an awesome opportunity. Here he is, Vitaly Gurman, NFL player. Kind of just introduce yourself.
What up, everybody? As Stan said, my name is Vitaly Gurman. I had a 3-year career in the NFL with the Chiefs, Jets, Arizona, and Vegas. All great experiences. We'll dive into some of that stuff more in depth. And then I played at 2 schools, Edinburgh, Division II, transferred to Division I, played there for 2 years, and then went undrafted to those teams.
Man, I'm super excited. I have a million questions I can ask you, but let's take it all the way to the beginning.
To the beginning.
Because were you born in Ukraine?
And I was born here.
So you're born here, okay. But you are from a Ukrainian family,
Yeah,
correct?
first generation American.
All right, first generation.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to connect those two, sports into the immigration world,
Right.
because they don't really fit.
No.
Most of the time, it doesn't really work out. So just to see someone that it actually worked out, I'm super blessed by that. So kind of go back to your childhood,
Right.
growing up, and how many brothers and sisters maybe.
Yeah, so everybody has immigrant parents. The oldest son, you want to take care of your parents. And football was my first opportunity where I could actually make a living. So I was like, I'm going to really dive into this and try to provide for my mom and dad. So since the beginning, I was obsessed with the gym, obsessed with getting better. And then my parents didn't really, they didn't know better. They thought, more of a regular job. That's what's going to pay the bills, this, that, and the third. So I really dove in, was committed, was skipping, family events, skipping stuff so I could work out, get better. And it paid off because little by little, stone by stone, brick by brick, I got better, got stronger, was developing, and it was good.
Well, I guess even to go to your child, were you always this big, like growing up? I know you're the
Yeah,
oldest, right?
I was hefty.
Where you were like a bigger kid,
Yeah,
right?
bigger set, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then, so funny story, I was bigger, got picked on a lot, lost a lot of weight, got super skinny,
Wow.
and then, built myself up from there.
No, so you just touched a good point on how our parents want the best for us.
Right.
So regular job, sometimes they think that that's the best. But I'm pretty sure now, I don't know if I'm speaking for your parents, but they're probably like beyond,
Yeah.
I can't even say the right word, but they're probably super, super excited to see what you have done in your life
Yeah,
up
they're-
to this point.
100%. They're excited. And obviously, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. I've gotten cut multiple times and got hurt multiple times, but staying the course and them, telling me not to give up. And so it's been good to see them say, don't do that, do this. And now they're, supporting me and getting my back and all that stuff.
No, that's awesome. So at least they kind of supported. Did they support you later on?
Yeah, later on.
It was not in the beginning,
No,
right?
no, not in the
Because I think the statistics prove that. You might tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like 8 years old or something. The kid has to start off in football in order to make it in the NFL. I think
Yes.
the statistics are like 6 to 8 years old
Something like that. Yeah, that's
where
what I
they
heard.
start developing.
Right.
I'm not
I
sure
actually
what-
couldn't play at that age. I was too big. Like I was trying to join that team. I was like 175.
That's
and they were like,
crazy.
yeah, you can't play for our team. So I started in 7th grade. And then
Still
from there,
pretty good though, pretty
Yeah.
early on.
earlier on, yep.
Because like my story is my parents didn't let me. Man, I had to walk home from practice. I don't know how your story was,
I didn't have it that bad.
but my parents didn't let me play football. So I signed myself up, and I would walk home 3-4 miles every day from practice because my mom wouldn't pick me up. So it was a little different, but I think the extra push really could do it for a kid if the parents
100%. And you
push them.
gotta be safe, not to burn them out and push them too hard where they want to, step away from it. But
Yeah.
what position did you play?
Quarterback. Yeah, I still.
Makes sense.
So I tore my Achilles
Oh,
playing the indoor stupid flag football.
flag football. Did you complete the pass?
We actually went to the playoffs right
Yeah.
after that game, but it was halfway through. We were up like 42 to like 6 or
That's a
something.
good quarterback right there.
So we won that game, but it was good.
you could
No.
have went to the league.
I would have loved to, man. But I'm actually praising God every day that I didn't because of the things I have now.
Amen.
Beautiful family, kids. So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 2 younger brothers, Myron and Ivan. One is in college right now, Rutgers, doing football, and then Ivan is the senior in high school playing
This
football.
is like the Gronk brothers.
The Gurman brothers.
Right? But they're the Goodman
Gurmanators.
brothers. But they're like the Gronk brothers, man. They're all going to make it to the NFL. His brother's doing very well from what I see as well. Even just to make it to that college is unbelievable. And then I see your little brother posting like every day.
Yeah, he's trying to do the
He's
social
going
media.
crazy on social media there. So, all right, let's kind of jump into. So we kind of got your family background, college days. Where'd you? I'm not even sure where you went to college. I know you went to Toledo at one point.
Yeah. So my first 4 years was in Edinburgh University, a Division II school, and talk about it's rough. We didn't have any protein shakes. The weight rooms were like this tall. You had to like duck to get in there.
Man.
Sometimes we had to like share the weight room with the girls' soccer team or work out for 30 minutes. So it wasn't the best situation. The locker rooms were terrible, rusty. Really blue collar kind of.
So what are the? I mean, you made it, but what are the chances for people to make it out of that college into the NFL?
I think so far that I know of, there's only 2 people since the school's been around have made it.
Because they don't really have the atmosphere.
They don't have the atmosphere, and then a lot of the NFL scouts, they say it's like level of competition. So they're basing you off of the Power 5 schools, the SEC schools. So when they see a Division II guy, they just kind of overlook him, even though he can play, but because they're comparing him to the guys that they draft.
So how much time did you spend at that college?
4 years.
4
So I
years.
redshirted my first year, played 3, and then we had a few coaching changes, this and that 3 times. And I just wanted, see what was out there. I wanted to play Division I.
I guess how'd you transition into D1 even?
It was a funny story. So I had a family friend that I met. Her name was Savannah. She had a family friend as well that was a strength coach there, and I sent the film over there, and they were like, yeah, we love them, this, that, and the third. And then they brought me on an official visit. And, the coach that I had there at Edinburgh was kind of telling me, you're never going to play. Why would you leave here? You're going to start. And he kind of, was trying to scare me into leaving. But I kind of, took a gamble, rolled the dice on myself and trusting God, and kind of that David and Goliath story. You're never going to make it. And that was actually, the confirmation. I read that, and I was like, all right, I'm just going to just do it, gamble.
Oh, dude, there's so many examples in my life. Gambling was the best decision.
The best.
Like, not in gambling, obviously, is.
Yeah.
But taking risks.
Yep.
Because, man, you could have missed out on all these opportunities if you didn't take that one risk.
100%. I could have never even made it because they were like, oh, he's a Division II guy. And I wouldn't have no pro day. I had a pro day at Toledo, got to play against Notre Dame, full out Soul Stadium.
Man.
Couldn't hear nothing. It was a blessing.
Man, this whole time, we haven't even said what position you play.
Quarterback.
Because, man, I truthfully think you have one of the hardest positions. I think quarterback might be the hardest mentally,
I agree.
but physically, and you have that's the hardest position. Offensive line, right?
100%. Yeah. Guard tackle. Yeah.
Yeah, anything to do on the offensive line, that's got to be the hardest position.
You're going backwards against one of the most dynamic guys out there. Myles Garrett, Max Crosby, Chris Jones.
Dude.
And they're going forward, so.
Yeah, I definitely agree on the fact that that's the hardest position. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Mentally, yeah, maybe not all the way because you don't know. You still need to know the playbook, obviously.
Yeah.
Pulling, whatever.
There's a lot of plays.
There's a lot, but quarterback, I think mentally just super exhausting.
I
because you
agree.
got to know everything. So
There was this one play, Pat Mahomes, when I was in the huddle with him, it was like scat to 1, 2 jump, whatever like that play was. And it was like 30 seconds long. And I'm just like, how am I going to remember this?
And he's a young cat too,
Yeah, he's a
like
young
my age.
cat.
How do you remember all that? That's the crazy thing, dude.
And then you have like 50, 60,000 people coaching the mic right here, and they just rattle it off. It's just,
What was some biggest adversities you faced in college?
so biggest
or
adversity.
difficult times, or
Yeah. So my first year in Edinburgh, I jumped off a branch into water. It was like a Jefferson Bridge, and I popped my ankle.
oh man,
And I guess I played for 2 years, and I couldn't walk halfway through my first season playing. So I went to the doctors, and they told me that your career is over. And I can remember to this day, I told the guy that God can do miracles, and he told me God doesn't do these kind of miracles. And so he said I have a 7-year-old ankle in 2017. He was like, you'll never play, you'll never do another down, you have to like swim, you'll never be able to like play football ever again. And I just, once again, if I would have listened to him, I would not be in the situation that I am now.
so how do you mentally overcome that though? Or obviously faith in God, as just you said, but for somebody that's going through that right now,
Right.
what would you tell that person? I mean, you kind of just said it, trust in God. That's probably the biggest one.
Like, yeah, that, and then practical. It's just taking one step after another. Like, I used to do this thing, even though it was loud, painful, I couldn't walk at times, I'll just do 1, 2, 3, and I'll just, just one step after another, and I learned that from like Will Smith. They made his dad, or his dad made him build a house, and it was just like brick by brick.
Yeah.
And I was thinking step after step, and just never giving up.
Man, so you did have to face that's a tough thing to hear.
And it was early on in my career.
Man. So that's already 2 obstacles that
Yeah, big ones.
you jumped over.
Yeah, thank
That's
God.
wild. And then I guess transitioning now from college to the NFL. What's that process like?
Yeah, so it's exciting. So I had my agent, Tony, which is still my agent now. So they take you to draft prep, and it's like 2 months of nonstop training, hard training.
Man.
My first day there, I was like, oh boy,
That's
I
tough.
don't know this. We went to Grissetti out of PA, and I was like chewing this granola bar. I couldn't chew it. I was tired. I was like, we were training for 3 hours or 4 hours a day
Man.
straight. And then you do that, and you get in this like peak shape for your pro day or your draft day. You go through the draft, people call you, and then obviously I was undrafted. And then, the team just calls you, hey, we're going to sign you, and you go, and
Man.
then you're part of the team until you're not.
So what team did you join in the beginning?
So my first team I was supposed to be a part of was Pittsburgh.
Oh wow.
And then I guess something happened. They went through my medical records, and they said you have stingers, and they kind of they were scared of that. So I had another obstacle. I had 3 days to impress people at the Chiefs. And there was like 70 or 80 of us on a tryout. They brought their draft in, like Karloftis, Trent McDuffie, and that class that I was with. And so we were 3 days to impress the Chiefs, which they have a pretty good offensive line. So first day was going great. Second day, great. The Lord was just, blessing me. Ended up, I think only 2 people out of 70 people got signed to like a undrafted agent thing. It was Chris and myself.
That's wild. It's so funny because I remember those days.
Yeah.
You might not, 'cause I didn't know you very well
Right.
at all almost. But I remember talking to someone like, did you know Vitaly Gurman just signed with the Chiefs?
Yeah, it was
I'm like,
wild.
let's freaking go. Expensive for a kid.
Yeah, expensive for a kid,
Yeah, I
man.
was so pumped. Like I started Googling it, and I was going bananas at that time. Just because I know that was always a dream of mine.
Right.
So to see someone else locally be able to do that, dude, that just like, I was so happy. I was running around everywhere, like telling
That's
everybody. I was
awesome.
like, dude, this guy made it,
Yeah, thank God. It was a blessing.
So the Chiefs was the team that signed you on first, huh?
Yeah, it was the first team that gave me a shot, an opportunity. It was rough too because they had the MRI, and then for some reason I couldn't pass my MRI. They scanned this, found something here, and I thought it was a tumor.
Man.
It was, thank God it was benign, but I was just like, man, just one obstacle after another. There's like this saying, it's like a Greek god or something like that, and he got eternally punished to push this rock up this hill for eternity. But every time he was about to rest and get what he was supposed to deserve, the rock would fall down. He had to push it back up and down. And I was just like, man, just another obstacle.
But that's what makes people,
Yeah, 100%.
Without those obstacles, man, we tend to lay back and not push ourselves.
100%,
I believe
just
is
give
hard.
up.
Yeah, and that's what really I think pushes people to be the most successful that they could possibly be, is by having those obstacles.
100%.
Anytime I have a trial, man, I'm so thankful that God, thanks for this trial, because now, we just stepped up
Yeah.
in the ladder. So that's kind of how I see your journey as well. Man, that's crazy. Do you have any crazy stories from being on the Chiefs? You were not part of any of the Super Bowls, were you?
No, I was there. I was on that team before the last cut that year they won the Super Bowl. And then I got picked up off of waivers to Vegas immediately
Man,
after
so
that.
no Super Bowl ring.
Unfortunately, no. But I helped them build it up a little bit.
Yeah, man. Like, I guess what's one thing that you can look back and like, man, this happened to me in the like locker or anywhere.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
just
so-
growing up.
I was walking up the stairs, with Pat Mahomes, and I'm like, oh, Pat Mahomes is on my tail. I got to move, get out of his way. And, just chopping it up with him, talking it up with him. He's a good guy, you know what I mean? And great quarterback, great leader. And then, Travis Kelce being 2-3 lockers down. Just a lot, those guys.
That's wild.
Yeah,
dude.
like Chris Jones, going against him, my first rep ever. I'm like,
Oh man.
I'm going against Chris Jones here. So I'm like, all right, let me just see what I got. I set him. I threw everything I had at him. Boom. Almost had him on the ground. He adjusted, did what he did, man. And I was just like, okay, welcome to the league.
Man.
He beat me one time so fast. I blinked and he was gone. Talent.
That's wild. I kind of want to get into the prep that it takes.
prep?
Because, like, as a fan, NFL fan, like, I love football. For us sitting on the couch, we're like, man, I could have made that throw. I could have made that block, But people don't understand how much time, effort
Yeah.
goes into each and every single play and just to get to that point.
Yeah.
So, kind of, if you can share your experience on practicing and taking care of your body, working out, the routine.
Yeah. So first thing you gotta know is the playbook. Because if you don't know the playbook, they're not gonna play you. So my first day at the Chiefs, they gave us this playbook, and I kid you not, it was this thick.
Man.
And it was all plays, and it was all like play action, run play, shotgun, this formations, this and that, and they expect you to know all of it, and they expect you to know it like this. And so I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna, study all of this, but I was like, okay, this is my job now, and I have to study it. So it was like every day in the morning, I'd wake up and I have to study the plays, and then on the iPad, we'll get the script. So I'm looking at the script. Okay, I'm gonna be in this play. Okay. This is what I'm gonna do. So when you have these opportunities, you could capitalize. Studying when you're getting home, but most of all, like you have to know these plays quick. So like for example, we had one play, there would be 6 different outcomes or 8 different fronts, bear, under, over, and I'm like, whew. And so like, and it's like in the heat of the moment, like Pat Mahomes or whoever was in the huddle, this is the play. You got 10, 20 seconds to get to the huddle and hike. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So it's
man.
and there's adjustments, kills, but you really have to perfect your craft. And then the working out component, conditioning every day, stretching every day, and just being consistent in that. Because if you don't do those things, you'll get left behind. Because
Do they control your diets too a little bit?
oh
or
yeah,
no?
for sure. They tell you what to eat, what not to eat, how much creatine to take, how much omega to take, how much vitamins to take.
Man.
And then if you're overweight or underweight, it's like 700 something pounds per pound. So if you're over 300 pounds, yeah, do the math. 21. Don't do math in public, but it's like $2,100.
That's wild, man. So people don't understand. They think just practice physically, but I think it's more mental.
It's more mental. They think
Yeah, I think the mental prep before the game is more important than.
we have 6 days or 6 days to prep, and like you have walkthrough like twice a day, practice, and then you're watching film for another 2-3 hours, and then you're watching film on your own. So like you get done you start around 7, you get done around 6.
Man, that's wild, dude. It's just shocking to me to even know that I'm sitting next to somebody that experienced that life, because all I do is watch it on TV.
Yeah.
So we all think it's so easy, like I can make it. Like I was just telling you, it's unbelievable that amount of work that you have to put in just to get to that point. Man, if someone is trying to get into that position right now, is there anything you would tell them, hey, now do this, and that can possibly land you a spot in the NFL?
If they're in college,
Yeah,
and
like
they're
say if a
trying, everyone's
college
trying to
kid,
do the
yeah.
same thing. If I had one thing to say,
Or a couple things like, what would
Yeah.
you, if you sat down with somebody that's, just let's say they're just going into college, your brother, pretend
Okay.
you're sitting down with your brother right
okay,
now.
perfect,
What would you tell him, like, since you already done it,
right?
some words of wisdom, or
Words of wisdom. I would just tell them, be consistent. What's your why? Because a lot of guys, they come into trying to play, they want all this stuff, and once they hit a little bit of adversity, they lose their confidence, and they're like, oh, maybe I don't want this anymore, or I don't want to do this anymore. And then that's when your why kicks in, and then that's where how do you say this? Persevere, go through that kind of bump in the road in your career, and you got to be obsessed with perfecting your craft, and because they're not going to pay people millions of dollars to be mediocre, if that makes sense. And I used to be like, I'd wake up or not go to sleep until like 1 a.m. just working on my stance in my room. And one time my friend went out to eat, and it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm working my footwork outside, and he saw that, and it's just like, you kind of have to be obsessed with it. and perfecting your craft. And one thing I wish someone would have told me is not work too hard, because you can work too hard, which can bring injuries, which I didn't know. I thought it was just constant work, 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 work. But, you know, just those
I
kind
guess
of things.
that's a good thing you just said. Don't work too hard because you could overwork yourself
Right.
in that aspect. But how do you we'll kind of transition into the faith aspect
Faith aspect.
because you grew up in a Christian household and you made it to the NFL, which is also a difficult thing to be on the path to be obsessed because like you just said, you have to have an obsession, you know, over this to be successful in it, and then also be guarded or have faith in God, you know, at the same time. So how were you able to, I guess, stay in faith and believe in God while doing all this?
Yeah, stay on faith.
I feel like it's really difficult to have that and that
Yeah, it is.
because
And
it's like you have to put so much time and effort into
Yeah.
perfecting to be an NFL player that there's sometimes no time
right.
to have a relationship with God. So
100%. And I learned that, you know, in college, like, I think it was Colossians 3:23. And it's like, whatever you do, do it for the Lord, not for man. So I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. It doesn't say, oh, just be a preacher or just be this or just be that one paint color. And someone told me that, you know, Jesus Christ, he has a bunch of paints and a bunch of, you know, paintbrushes to paint this beautiful picture. And it's not just, we're all not supposed to be preachers, one color, and then do this for one color. You know, we all have, like, your business. You can reach people in Florida, and what you're doing, conversing with subcontractors or contractors, I can't do that, right? My paint is a different color. It might be athletes or student athletes or college kids. That's my color. So then I went to that, and then I think it was Titus 1:16. It was like, though they proclaim they know me, they deny me by the way they live, detestable, dishonest, or doing anything good. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to be who I say I'm going to be a Christian, I'm going to represent Jesus Christ, and I'm going to do this football thing, I'm going to serve him the right way so that I don't lead these guys astray. Because, you know, I'm saying I'm Christian, I'm proclaiming the faith, but if I indulge in what these guys are indulging, I'm not separating myself from the two. And it was tough. You know, my friends wanted to go out, and my friends did all that stuff around me and stuff like that. And I told them I don't do that stuff because I got to be sober-minded, this, that, and the third. That's one thing. But there's sometimes you have to stand up for the faith if you're not getting persecuted or if you're not getting, you know, people are saying, oh, you're super weird, you love Jesus. I'm like, yeah, he died for me.
that's
The price,
awesome.
the price that was paid for me is, how can I repay him but not be crazy for him, if that makes sense?
That's awesome. Dude, you just said it so perfectly right there.
Yeah,
the
thank
whole
God.
thing. Like, even just growing up, I always had conversations with my dad. I'm like, Dad, you spend 12 hours a day on the roof. I can spend 12 hours a day playing football.
Right.
We're both making money. We're both at work. So that's kind of, I was trying to transition him into that. But he kept saying, hey, no, it's going to be an idol. It's going to be an idol. It's going to be an idol. You're going to put him before God. So just to see that you were able to stick with your faith and make it to that position it's unbelievable as well.
And it was hard because I have, you know, my dream here and that vision that I felt like God gave me, which still is to become a prophet to the nation, you know, to prepare the world for the Lord's return. But then I also had, like, some of my church saying it's not from God. And then sometimes I'd go to church and like, oh, what are you doing now? And knowing I'm still doing that. And he's like, man, I've been praying for you to not do that. It's not God's will. And I kind of, you know, I'm getting bashed and something. Now I'm in the situation, oh, is it for me? Is it not for me? And, you know, I'm battling those thoughts.
Well, looking from the inside, like for me, looking inside out, I feel like it is from the Lord because, man, what a platform.
What a platform.
Because you can change one person in the locker room, and now look at their platform
100%.
and their platform. So, yeah, we talk to our neighbors and stuff, but, man, what a neighborhood in the locker room. You can
A lot of different spices.
yeah, you got a whole different rack of spices there. So that's like that's the way I look at it, man. If you can get that platform and share the gospel to those people,
100%.
why not, man?
I tested that. It actually happened to me my first year in Edinburgh. I was a roommate with a Christian athlete, Ryan Stratton, and we, you know, developed our relationship as friends. And he got me a Bible, and he wrote, you know, a special note in it. And then push come to shove, when I'm in Toledo, I had the same opportunity to do that. What he did for me, you know, he
That's
showed the
awesome.
faith, and I was just like, wow, they just came full circle. And I was like, that's
That's
pretty
so
cool.
awesome, man. I still see a couple, you know, people in the NFL that are really using the platform
Right.
to spread the gospel, which is amazing to see. And I'm just so happy that you were able to keep the faith, probably even grew in faith
Yeah,
even
for
more,
sure.
you know,
There were some tough times, but yeah.
stayed on the right path. It's okay, man. We all fall down
Yeah.
no matter what. That's part of life, and that's part of being a Christian, you know?
Yeah.
Sanctification process. We're all going to be falling down, getting back up, falling back. You know, there's no straight line in Christianity.
You were 100% right.
So, and the people that think that there is, you got to question, are they Christian, you know?
Yeah. And 'cause, yeah, life is, Jesus Christ didn't have an easy life. His
No.
apostles didn't have an easy life. And
So I'm happy that you were able to stand firm, you know,
yeah,
and
thank God for
continue.
that.
I guess what are your future plans? I guess what's one team that you would love to sign with right now?
Got to be the Bills, right?
Come on, Patriots, man. I was about to say, dude, please, I'll go to
No.
every game, dude. I'm a huge Patriots fan. I don't know if I told you.
Okay, Patriots fan.
I'm a huge Patriots fan since
So
a little kid.
I know a lot of the staff with Vegas was a Patriots, like McDaniels,
yeah.
Lombardi. So a few times Edelman was behind
Great.
us. Saw Tom Brady in some of the locker rooms, and I was like, it's surreal when you see Tom Brady, Edelman, and then who else was that wide receiver that we had? Amendola. Like,
Yep.
it's wild.
Man, maybe the Bills will still sign you on.
We'll see.
Is
Whatever.
how does it work with the agent? Are they like actively trying to?
Yeah, they actively pursue you. If the team's interested, they'll tell you. So the GM of mine, the UFL team that I was playing for, said that I had the Saints work out. I did that. They said they're going to sign me back for training camp. But sometimes in the league, they say one thing and they do the next.
100%.
So it's like, really, only chance the stuff that you get is the concrete stuff when you're flying out every Tuesday or whenever you're doing the workout.
So what is the process like for your agent right now? What is he doing to get your name out there? Like, is he reaching out or?
Yeah, he should be. Right?
Or is
That's
there like just a book of all the players that are available and the
pretty
team?
much there's a waiver, and then they see who they want. They call the agent. They either do the workout and they say they'll sign you in a future time, or they sign you there and then. And it happened to me twice. I did a workout. I was supposed to sign with Cleveland a year back when they lost that kicker. Kicker got hurt, did a workout, and then went to the Jets, and then as well as Arizona. So they fly you out on a Tuesday, put you through this like 15-minute workout, and it's hard. If you're the only guy there, I remember I did the Titans workout, and I was gassed. One guy, I think Rabel was watching too, or who's the
Vabro.
yeah, so he's a Patriots guy.
Yeah,
now.
he's a Patriots guy.
And I'm over there like, man, they're killing me. Pull left, pull right, pass that, this, no break. But they said I did a good job, but you don't get signed.
I feel like the Lord will get you back on the field, just because of your. I think God would. I think the Lord would love to see more people of faith in that platform.
100%, I agree.
So I feel like if He's got one sitting right here with the talent and the skill to be able to do it, I think there will be opportunities. You're still young too.
Right. I do feel that in my heart too, that it's not over. But like sometimes, the situation where the situation was dead in the Bible, and they saw him, they buried him for 3 days. But then when Jesus speaks, stuff's happened. So if he chooses to open a door.
Speaking of Lazarus, I was just the other day I was thinking, I actually mentioned it to someone. Do you know why Jesus called Lazarus by name to wake him up?
I do. This is what I think. That if he would have said to get up, that all the dead people would have gotten
Yeah,
up.
so I heard this. Yeah, so every dead man would have rose.
That's how much
Because there's so
power.
much power. I heard this like years ago, and I was just thinking about it the other day. I was telling somebody, I'm like, do you know why? They're like, yeah, dude, that's so true.
Yeah, so much
Because there's
power,
so
man.
much power in the name. So, dude, we'll continue to pray for you that you have the opportunity to get up on the
Appreciate it, yeah.
field. And
appreciate
I
that.
think it's coming. What are you doing right now to keep your body ready, though? Because that must be hard, dude.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard in the mind too, because like, am I wasting my time? Am I not wasting my time? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I move on? Do I step away? I don't want to step away from something that God still wants to ordain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want to move without Him. But so I'm just working out every day after work, and trying to keep my cardio up, keep my muscles up. And sometimes it's not the easiest. Sometimes I don't want to do that stuff, but. Like
It's
I
a
said,
lot harder probably now than when you're inside that environment. When
Right.
you're already in the NFL, I feel like it's easier
Oh, yeah.
because you're set up. They're feeding you.
you're exposed to every resource.
Now you're working, and now you got to work out. You got to keep your body in check.
10-hour days, and then you're trying to go to the gym after, and it's just like. But I believe that that is not my strength and His strength, and even though I might not be the biggest or the strongest at this point, but He could ordain the rest to happen. So
Yeah, I feel like you should just keep pushing, man.
yeah, okay,
Don't give up. Whoever says whatever to not do, people are praying for you not to do it.
right.
Man, sheesh.
I'm telling you, and those are my people.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times there's jealousy too. I like some of my family members. I'm not gonna say what they said or who they said, but like they were saying like, oh, that's not for him. That he's not gonna make it.
In life, dude, the closest people to you are the biggest naysayers.
Well, I don't understand that though. I don't know why.
It makes absolutely no sense. But realistically,
Yeah.
a stranger is not gonna want something worse for you. It seems like it's always family.
Always, and you can see it in their face. They're like never
100%.
happy.
100%. And those strangers, man, they'll be like, dude, I bless that guy, man. I hope he makes it. Like, I'm a stranger.
Right.
Dude, I'm over here like praying for you to be like, even when you signed with the Chiefs, I was going like bananas, dude.
Bananas.
I'm telling you, you could ask people. I was going ham when I found out. I think Vitaly or someone told me. Like,
My
yo,
cousin?
yeah,
Blake? Yeah.
He's like, yo, Vitaly Griffin just signed with the Chiefs. I was going crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't even know you like at all. I just knew your last name a little bit,
Right.
But that's about it.
Well, you have the dream too, hopefully, one day get you to a game. That'd be nice.
Dude, that would be awesome, man. But like I said, closest people are usually the naysayers. So just block them out. Keep working hard, man. I think God's got a plan. Even let's say if it's not,
Right.
you still kept your body in check. Like, what are you losing by working out, by eating healthy, by keeping yourself prepped?
Right, 100%.
You're not losing anything.
Right.
So either way, it's not like you're gonna regret.
Right.
So just stay ready. I think you'll make it back.
It'll be dope. I'm praying. The problem is, I kind of lost that faith a little bit, and so I got to get back on that.
Well, look, you came on the podcast for me to reamp it for you.
Hey, I'm charged.
That's it, Zarajani, yeah, charged. No, I'm serious though. Like, we're praying for you, man, because I think that platform that God could give you. I know you don't do much social media.
I know.
You should probably start because even being in that platform, you could have grew your social media a lot quicker than a normal person.
100%.
I think one of the best ways to spread the gospel is through social media.
Yeah.
Because how else do people interact now? It's all social media.
It's all social media. I 100% agree.
So I feel like God's gonna give you that platform one way or another.
That encourages me. Believe it or not, I've been more like this more recently than this, but that encourages me.
And if you're down, let's hit the gym tomorrow morning.
I got work.
Yeah, afternoon. We'll hit it up when I get back. Maybe
Yeah,
like a
100%.
weekend or something. We'll hit the gym.
You just let me know. I'll get it done.
It'll be awesome, man. I guess before we end, like, what would you? Because I kind of shared why I started this podcast.
Right.
Because I don't know how much you know about kids being depressed, anxiety, but I would feel wrong if we didn't leave off with some inspiration to people. I mean, us as kids, I don't know about you, but me growing up, if I ever told my parents I was depressed, I got the belt, and depression would have left me real quick. But now I feel bad because kids are comparing themselves on social media. I think social media kills kids.
I 100% agree.
So I guess because you had to work super hard, but let's say there's a kid that's on anxiety medication, still with his parents. What would you tell that kid to kind of get out of his situation?
A question like that, I got to think. I don't want to just spit on something or say something, spit something out and it not be genuine. But the first thing I want to say, that Jesus Christ is the King of Peace. And if you're feeling that depression, that he can remove that. He can give you hope and he can take that burden away from you, which he's done to myself, and you can attest probably to that. There's that little fire that someone might have or the idea that they might have, and somebody might think it's a bad idea, but you have that idea for a reason, and you have that idea because God put that in your heart to do. And it might not work out the way you want it to work out initially, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was a bunch of these cities. So
whatever you just said, it inspired me to jump out of my seat and get out of my parents' basement, even though I'm not there. But honestly, you said it so perfect. It's obviously, like you said, Rome wasn't built in a day, and then even Jesus being the Prince of Peace,
right?
And he could take away anxiety, depression. All we have to do is just give it to him.
Right.
We bring it to the cross, man. He'll take it,
and then that's it,
and we're delivered from it.
And that person, like whoever's in that basement, whatever you may have, that you have a reason that Jesus Christ knows you. He cares for you. He created you since the beginning of time, and he knows every hair on your head. You know what I mean? And it's intentional, his relationship with you. So don't think you're left behind or that you're too late. A lot of people don't become successful until 40s.
Yeah,
that's when they start to figure it out. So
it's never too late.
100%.
But there's better for you than obviously what the devil is convincing you of.
100%.
So people just have to understand that God's plans are sometimes not what our plans are. That's the thing that's a whole nother topic, but that's so true because a lot of people have their own idea of what God's will for our life is.
100%.
Which sometimes it's a completely 180, from what it really is. So I guess just being in the presence of the Lord each and every day is how we can kind of be in his will and know that it's his, not ours.
Yeah, well said, 100%.
So that's the biggest thing. But I feel like we're going to have to do a part 2, man.
Well, when I'm on a team.
You're going to be on a team like in the next probably couple months when I'm going to be praying one of these guys get injured.
Yeah. Bills, one of the Bills
Yeah, one of
guys.
the whole
No, no,
line.
no.
The whole all line.
Give me
They'll
an
have to call
opportunity.
you up,
They'll have
dude.
to, right?
So
No,
I-
if the Lord opens that door, I'm gonna take it. So
Yeah, I feel like that you're doing the right thing by staying prepared.
yeah, 100%.
And keep it up, man. But we'll definitely have to do a part 2, man.
I'm looking
So,
forward to it.
I appreciate you coming on, man. I think people will be blessed by this episode and the
agree.
things that you have to share, you know. So
Appreciate
thank you
you
so
having me
much,
on.
man. Let me shake your hand over here.
Oh yeah, it's an honor.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate
Thank
you, brother.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Vitaly Gurman. We'll have to do a part 2 for sure. But, man, I just learned a lot from this guy. I bet you, I still have a million questions I can ask him about the NFL, the whole process, but we'll save that for another time. God bless you guys. We'll see you on the next one.